it's Isabella. I am a first-year Canadian international student at College of the Canyons, and we are about 2 weeks away from the end of this spring semester. As we're nearing the end of it, I wanted to reflect on how I feel like I've changed over the past year. You know, I've been out of high school for about 6 years now. I went to a vocational school. I worked in the industry. I've lived in LA for years now. And I only recently returned to school because of a difference in career. I think when we start something new and exciting, kind of like me going back to school as a bit of a grown-up, I think it's important to reflect on how we've changed, how we've truly grown. Of course, we know that education is a massive benefit for so many reasons into your life. But what else have I feel like I received? And there's a lot. So I actually wanted to split this up into 2 parts. The first part is going to be kind of focused around my academics and my career goals and how I feel like those have changed in the last year. I feel like they've changed a lot, and we'll talk about that. We'll get there. But the second part I think is really important. It's how I feel I've changed personally. You know, my emotions, how my day-to-day life has kind of adapted now that I've been back at school for a year and at College of the Canyons for a year. So, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so academics. How has that changed? We'll get to the big one at the end, but first off, I think the most important thing is I've gotten so much better at speaking up in class and asking questions. You know, I've always been someone to be terrified of asking questions. I never wanted to be wrong. So I think that was something that expanded exponentially for me at College of the Canyons. I can honestly say now I am one of the most outspoken people in these classrooms. And I think part of it is I'm already a pretty outspoken person, and I've grown a lot, of course, since high school. But I do think that the atmosphere of the classrooms has really encouraged me to speak out more. I think actually being on Zoom and being online has kind of helped that a little bit because it's kind of the only way I can get that connection in a classroom. On that note, I also think I'm better at expressing my ideas. I mean, I haven't written an essay since high school, you know, but I think my ideas have become more structured and argumentative as time has gone on. And that's done wonders for how quickly I can kind of like pound out an essay or express my feelings in the classroom if I'm agreeing or disagreeing with an opinion, like particularly in my philosophy class. Also, while this isn't technically academic focused, I've gotten so much better at time management. That's like the biggest thing, right? Is you're doing full-time classes. I also work 15 to 20 hours a week, so, you know, I'm a busy person. Every class that you take, every 3-credit class you take, you're supposed to study 6 to 9 hours outside of that class. I mean, school is a full-time job. We all know that kind of coming into it. So I don't know how it happened, but I have gotten a lot better at kind of figuring out what's important to do in this moment, what can be pushed, what I don't need to do at all, which of course is different for everybody. Honestly, I think it's amazing that I am able to have almost every night, of course not all of them, but almost every night, like free for myself to relax and sleep. I get a full night of sleep almost every night. I think that's pretty impressive. I don't expect that to last forever because I know college gets a lot harder. But for now, I'm really enjoying that, and I think the way that College of the Canyons kind of structures their work and how I had to deal with that really helped with that whole problem. Okay, so the biggest one, I changed my degree. So I'm sure that over the past, if you've been following these videos, you know that career-wise, I want to get a PhD and become a therapist. That was kind of my impetus for getting into school in the first place. The more time I have spent at College of the Canyons, surrounded by all these academic works and books and reading and learning, I have found such a love for school. And I know that makes me sound kind of like a nerd, but I think it's incredible how happy I am just learning every day. My career goal has kind of shifted from getting a doctoral program just to focus on therapy to really wanting to research. I want to learn more. I want to teach as a professor in other schools and expand on my knowledge and help students like myself. I think I want a much more rounded kind of career, and College of the Canyons really pushed that forward for me. So I was really excited. I went and spoke to a counselor about a month ago. So far I've been doing requirements for a Bachelor of Arts program. But thank God for this counselor who mentioned that in order to get into a pretty decent clinical psych program, it's better to have a science degree. So I will actually be at College of the Canyons for an extra year while I finish the prerequisites for a Bachelor of Science in Psychology. I definitely encourage everyone to go and talk to counselors about your career goals. Make sure you're on the right path, of course. The ISP counselors are great. But also, leave yourself open. I am a planner. I'm a planner through and through. And every time that life kind of throws a curveball at me, it takes me a minute to adjust. But the more I adjust, the better I think things turn out for me. The more excited I get for what the future might hold. So, yeah, I'm super excited about that. Academically and career-wise, I've grown significantly in this last year. I can't imagine what I'm going to be like when I'm done my bachelor's degree. Okay, so the second part of this is kind of focused on the emotional and personal benefits that I feel like I've gotten. As I kind of just mentioned, I've gotten a lot more comfortable with letting life kind of just take me. I think there's something really beautiful about being in a structured environment like school, where if other things are kind of going on, at least you have that structure to kind of ground you in reality. So as we've moved forward, I think I've gotten so much more open with the fact that life is going to throw me 100 different ways. Most of the people that I talk to who have gone to school have either gone in expecting one thing and have switched their majors to something else, or didn't know what they wanted to do and tried out 4 different things before deciding on something they liked. Most of them have been in school for longer than the traditional 4-year bachelor programs. I think that's okay. I think we give so much credence to this idea that you have to know what you want and know what is perfect for you, when in reality, life doesn't go that way. We don't get to plan everything, which is so annoying to someone like me who likes to plan everything. But that has been a huge growth factor for me, is just kind of letting things go. I also think I've learned to value that connection that I get with other students. It's been hard, doing classes without that personal connection through a computer screen. And the breakout rooms, though they were kind of awkward in the beginning, are kind of the only time where we get to interact with other students and kind of share our feelings on the classroom and the work. And I think that reminding myself of the value of that connection is exponential, especially now that things are opening up. I'm back in the office. I'm fully vaccinated. I can go out and kind of expand on my relationships with my friends and make new ones, which is really exciting. Also, I think this is a big one. I've kind of been working on my pride. I don't like to say, I don't think I'm super egotistical, but I definitely have a pride. I like doing things well. I like being the best at what I do. And so I think in this last year, I've really been working on trying to separate myself from that ego. I've kind of spent this last semester taking classes that I decided before I even went into it that I wasn't excited for. I wasn't excited for biology, so I went into this class pretty sure I wouldn't like it. And lo and behold, if you decide you don't like something before you do it, you're automatically not going to like it when you start. I don't love biology, but there are some things about it that I've been really enjoying as time has gone on, and I actually wish that I'd figured this out earlier so I could have enjoyed more of the class, because now it's 2 weeks left, and I'm like, yay, I'm finally liking the class. But I think it's a good lesson for me and for you guys. Don't make this mistake, go into every class excited for what you might learn. There is something new around every corner that might surprise you with how interested you are in it. All in all, College of the Canyons has provided me with my first year of education, a pretty confident career goal now, but it's also helped me with my own growth, my own time management, my own comfortability in myself and confidence in my opinions and speaking out. And that might be college for everyone. Can't really say, but I know my first experience with college was not like that at all. So I think it's probably COC that does it. So I'm very grateful. I've been very happy with this whole semester. I've done the fall, winter, and spring semesters. I will be doing a class over the summer, so that's cool. And I will be on campus in the fall, which is super exciting, to be in a class in person. I literally can't wait. And I'm very excited with kind of how things are working out. So I hope that you guys are also super excited to come to school this next year and see what it does for yourself and your confidence. So I'll stop talking now. And hopefully I will see you guys this semester. Comments, DMs, all those things. And hopefully I will see you in the next semester. Bye.